Well, I met with the girl yesterday, Stephanie, who I posted her confession. The girl I posted the confession of from the other day. I met with her yesterday, and when we met and saw a movie, and on the way there, she walked up the stairs. I was like, oh wow, she's walking up the stairs. But at the top of the stairs, when we sat down, she got kind of winded, and then she used her inhaler. And I was like, okay, well, she's used it at least one time. Now, we saw each other on Thursday, and this was yesterday, so it was Sunday, I think it was August 17th. It was the 18th, I don't remember. Anyway, man, I want to reset this video, but I'm not going to. Okay, so then she proceeded to tell me after we saw the movie, which it was pretty funny, but she proceeded to tell me after we saw the movie that that was her fourth time using her inhaler since we met on Thursday, and that means that she said typically, in her video, that she uses about 3 times a day. So in 3 days, that's 9 expected usages, whereas she only used it 4. And that was the 4th time. And what was interesting was, I think she said she used it twice that day. We met on Thursday. She used it Friday morning, Saturday evening, Sunday morning, I want to say, and then Sunday at the top of the stairs. And I was like, okay, well, I thought about it related to the first confession from Trent and his asthma. He never used his inhaler after that for months. And I thought about the difference between the amount of time that Trent committed to his confession, which was about 12 hours, where he got everything listed out and then just gave me a short confession video. He put the effort in. And Stephanie, who, through no fault of her own, it was just, I was nonchalant with the thing. I was like, yeah, let's do the confession, it's all good. And asthma goes away. Well, it lessened, but I think there's a correlation between how, I don't want to say sincere because she didn't lie, but like how much time, Trent spent reflecting and how much time she spent. But I didn't tell her that. I just, these are my thoughts going into it. So it makes sense from God's standpoint of, Trent was more committed or took more time. Thus, he did more works, the whole first works thing, like in his mind, than Stephanie did, because he spent 12 hours and I just had her do it over about a 3 or 4 minute period. So anyway, after I asked her a bunch of questions about her mom and her grandmother, and just more questions about her life. And then I said, did you record any coincidences? She said no. I was waiting on your email, and I never emailed her. But I plan to. And I said, I want you to spend time, like, how much time do you spend alone? She's like, well, just right before I go to sleep. And I'm like, do you sit there and think? She's like, no, I just lay down and then I go to sleep. I'm like, the rest of the time of your day, you don't. She's like, no. I was like, I want you to start spending time alone. I want you to start listening to music and, just thinking, reflecting on your life, who you are as a person. And she kind of jolted back a little bit. And I was like, and when interesting things happen, any event in your day, good or bad, I want you to record it. We talked about examples. She's like, well, it's funny, I hit all these green lights going to work the other day. Like, that's good. Like, you can record that. Or she said that she made a crack to one of the customers who said, is the whole movie in 3D? And she's like, no, only part of it, like sarcastically. And then 2 customers later, she like cut her pinky on a on something from, like maybe the ticket stub or something from the customer. And I was like, see, you have an example. You have 2 examples. One of, you did that confession. We put it online, and your number of asthma inhales went from 9 to 4. And then a bad one would be you made that sarcastic crack at, the customer. And I don't think she was just being sarcastic, like, she was being sarcastic. But I was like, and then you saw something bad. Both of those could be recorded, and you could see as examples in your own life, you know, God at work. I'm like, or that green light thing, or whatever. Because I want you to record your you know, these like little events that happen, because there's documents. I'm like, and then send them to me. But I want you to also watch them and to reflect and just spend time thinking about you. So anyway, so like that's what we did. But we're gonna meet again on Thursday, which will be a whole week. And I told her, I was like, do an updated confession, because you'll notice the frequency of usage like increased, and that makes sense, because you know, they're the things that I was like, think about the things you've done, you've thought about, anything where you've critiqued something, or just, you know, you broke the Sabbath, which I did too, but you got to admit that. We may have to, you know, do it every week because we work on Fridays. You know, I mean, like I do it every week because I work on Friday. But I'm like, you know, we just have to keep doing these updated. We have to keep updating those confessions. She's like, okay. I'm like, all right, cool. And then this morning I wake up and I go downstairs and there's like a book on spirituality and health, because my mom just went to a week-long seminar and met with the head of the workshop or whatever, you know, of the whole course on my birthday, actually. But there's like biographies of, I think, like 30 or 40 people in the book who attended the workshop, and they're all, you know, looking for, I mean, you know, some are doctors, some are clergy, some are PhD researchers, some deal with, you know, some are, they deal with like intervention, like addiction, stuff like that, family trauma, all of it. And they're all, you know, researchers. Like, you know, they understand statistics, and the workshop was about, you know, connecting spirituality and health. And that's exactly what I did with Stephanie the same week, which they all have email addresses, so I think I'm gonna write them all down and then maybe send out an email to all of them without my mom on it and say, hey, here's a study design. You know, it's tough getting this from your son, so I want you to look at it for real and help me convince Linda to run a study that she'll run point on, and anyone who's on this email, because she spoke so highly of you, is welcome to participate in the study too. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. So I'll record it on Thursday with her. I was just tired after working this weekend. And that's one thing my mom said coming back from that conference. She's like, that workshop, she's like, you know, he said, he's like, you get 3 parts of your time. You got your family, your personal stuff, you got your work, and then you got, I don't know, like your work to keep things around, and then you've got, you know, your spare time. She's like, or he's, you know, he says, if you have kids or whatever, like, you gotta go. The family has to understand that because you need more time. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, because I spent all my time thinking about this. But anyway, hopefully they understand that it's important. I'm also thinking about, you know, the idea of like, this isn't an incremental change, this is a quantum leap situation, because it's, you know, it's divine, it's inspired by God. It's His gift to us. So what we'll need is volunteers. We need up to 4 generations of a family to make full video confessions against the 10 commandments in an honest, heartfelt sort of confession to God. And we're going to put them online publicly for a few seconds each, and then put them on private. And there's a permanent record of them. And we're going to judge the health benefits of that activity. That's what I would like to do with that. You know. So we'll see. So that's kind of where I'm at. Hopefully I'll have a video from her on Thursday. I gotta email her too.